Hello my friends, today we are making this awesome video, one of my most popular videos with over 10 million views, a beautiful color changing screen effect. Have fun and hit the thumbs up if you found this tutorial useful. As always, we start with an empty platform. I'll quickly set everything up here. Now we position the camera to the correct spot, position number 0. Then we add a plane. We pull this plane really close to the camera until it basically fills the entire camera view. Let's scale it one more time. We can make it a bit better. I'll move it a little closer. Okay, now we have our plane, so next we're going to jump straight into render mode. First, we'll quickly set up the frames. In render mode, go to viewport shading. Switch to the render view so you can see everything properly. Open the material settings and replace the principal BSDF with an emission shader. In this section, I'm really just experimenting a bit. The video I made back then with those millions of views was a very long time ago. So I'm going to play around a bit and talk to you about the video at the same time. It was a very spontaneous animation that I made quickly back then. At that time, I was still pretty new to working with Blender and definitely inexperienced. Blender was a huge mystery to me back then, but I watched a lot of tutorials, recreated many of them, and learned a lot from that. Even today, I'm still not a professional. God knows I'm not a pro. I really admire the people who truly master Blender, those who can create beautiful animations, character animations, weather simulations, all kinds of designs and animations, but to each their own. I'm happy with what I do. VJ loops are a great thing. I really enjoy creating them and watching them. At home, I often let them run on my smart TV. I'm proud that I can use Blender myself and share something of it with you, or make it available to the whole world. I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. But the truth is, there's a lot of work behind it. Rendering takes a lot of time. I've already burned through one laptop. One literally broke because I rendered and worked on it so much. But I enjoy it, and my new laptop, which I'm using now, is much better and can render far more efficiently. Still, rendering is always time consuming. That's why I only use Blender Eevee, the standard Blender renderer. I don't use Cycles at all. Cycles is a real memory hog. If I had a super powerful PC, that would be a different story. But for most people, Eevee is more than enough. Eevee is a fantastic invention by Blender, honestly. Eevee has simplified so many things. The workflow, render times, and even the visual quality is great. It can absolutely compete with Cycles and isn't worse at all. That said, everyone has different needs and preferences. This is what works best for me. I know that professionals watching my tutorials are probably laughing their heads off. But hey, to each their own. You might be a professional, living and breathing Blender. I do this as a hobby. This is my hobby. This is my fun. When I come home stressed from work and sit down with Blender, it relaxes me. If I had studied this and learned it professionally, maybe I'd be working at Pixar today, creating animations or something like that. Anyway, let's continue. You can see I added an animation here using emission, but we can make it better using a wave texture. First, we add a color ramp, then a new emission shader, connect everything, and plug the color ramp into the emission. With the color ramp, we can choose beautiful colors. Here we really have the freedom to use as many colors as we want. I'll use the same colors I used in the original video. As I said, you can add as many colors as you like. That's totally up to you and how much fun you want to have with it. I'll quickly add the colors now. while I'm adding the colors, I can tell you that this still brings me a lot of joy. It's always great to see when you sit there for hours trying to create a loop, a seamless loop, and in the end, it works perfectly. That's a really great feeling. But at the end of the day, it's something everyone has to discover for themselves. Some people say, this is enough for me. Just like VJs or DJs who use these loops. They didn't learn everything overnight either. Now I've added the wave texture, and this is where the magic happens. With the wave texture, first set the scale very low between 0 and 1. Then we move on to the phase offset. That's where the animation happens. On frame 1, set it to 0, and on the final frame, set it to 12.256. This creates a seamless loop that runs almost perfectly. I'll increase the frame rate a bit so it plays more slowly. Take a look at this. The transition is amazing, and this wave texture animation is incredibly powerful. I'm really grateful to the person who showed this in a tutorial. It's a huge help for creating clean loops. And it's not just for textures. This wave texture can be used for many other shader setups as well. Let's make it a bit brighter. Everything looks wonderful, and when you render it, you'll see that it has an entirely different impact. I'm talking about frame settings and everything that comes with it. I generally render my videos directly from the viewport, and you should always save your projects early and often. If you lose your work once it's gone, then you're really out of luck and your video is lost. For viewport resolution, I usually set it to 256. That's more than enough. Unless you need very high quality, then just double or triple it. To create 4K output, I set it to 150%. Choose 30 or 60 FPS, whatever you prefer. I render directly in MP4 format. Some PCs can't handle that, so in that case, I recommend rendering as PNG sequences. Now we save everything and then we wait. Thank you for watching. Thanks for your patience, and I hope you leave a thumbs up, a comment, and share this video. Try recreating this color animation yourself. You can use it on your smart TV for VJ sets, concerts, or anywhere you want to run it in the background.